Hello there, this is Mr. Bainey, and we're going to take a look at lesson 9.1, Properties of Translations. The standard up at the top right is 8.G.1a, and our essential question is, how do you describe the properties of translations and their effect on the congruence and orientation of figures? So we have some vocab words, since this is the very first lesson in this module, in fact in this unit. And the first thing I want to point out is this word transformation. A transformation is when we take a figure could be like a point, a line, a shape, anything like that, that we can actually graph, and then we're changing it in some way. We're actually changing either the position, the size, or the shape. And then I want to also introduce this word position. We can think of position as either the orientation or the location, either of those, because one of those things may or may not change. So orientation or location. We're going to be taking a closer look at 4 different types of transformations in this unit. This is one of the transformations today, and it's called translations. So this one right here. So translations. And a translation, I'm sorry, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. When we do a transformation, we have a pre-image, which is like what we're starting with, right? Think about the word pre that we put at the beginning of a word. And then what we end up with is the image. So once we have the pre-image, we do a transformation, and then we end up with the image. Okay, so in a lot of these problems, you're going to have a starting figure and then an ending figure. And so our first transformation we're going to look at is called translation, which another word for translation is slide. So we're going to slide a figure along a straight line. So let's take a look at this graphic over here on the right side. We're not going to be doing the task on the left side, but instead I want you to take a look at what's on the right, and then take a look at the shape here. So this triangle ABC, if I'm going to be translating it, then what that means is we're going to be sliding it along this line. Okay, so it's going to be looking like this. So right there. So notice that my original figure, triangle ABC, okay, so this triangle right here just moves, slides over. So you see it doesn't change the orientation of it. It's still facing the same way. So I have this point A is still on top of the triangle, right? Point B would be over here on the right, bottom right, and then point C would be on the bottom left. And then we label our points like so. So this top point, we're going to call that A prime, right? So this one is called A prime. The bottom right, we call that B prime. And then the bottom left, we call that C prime. Okay, and think about the difference or similarities between the two triangles, right? This is our pre-image. So let me jot that down, right? This is our pre-image. And then I end up with my image after I translate it. So both the pre-image and the image are exactly the same triangle, right? We call that congruent. When they're the same size and the same shape, they're congruent. And you'll notice that we always get congruent figures when we do a translation. Okay, so let's take a look at an example. Take a look at number 4 here, the your turn, the only your turn we have in this lesson. So the figure shows parallelogram ABCD. So you see that on the right side, right here. Graph the image of the parallelogram after a translation of 5 units to the left and 2 units down. So the way we're going to do that is we're actually translating every single point that's in this parallelogram. It actually contains an infinite amount of points. But the easiest way to do this is just to take the vertices, right? That's A, B, C, and D. So those are these points. And we're actually going to count 5 units to the left and then 2 units down. So I'm going to start with A, and I'm going to go from A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then down 2. Okay, so it'll be right here. Remember, I'm going to call that A prime. Then I go with B, and I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and down 2. So this will be my B prime. With C, I'm going to go start from C and go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then down 2. So it's right here. There's C prime. Then point D, finally, we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and down 2, right here. So this is my image, remember? I start off with my pre-image, I translate it, end up with my image, and I get this shape, although not drawn perfectly, but you get the idea, right? Both A, B, C, D, and the other one, we call that, I know it's a little bit tedious, but A prime, B prime, C prime, D prime are congruent. Remember this word congruent. This means same size, same shape. One thing that you may need to know for the assignment is that you need to know what matches or corresponds from our pre-image to our image here. And that is that AB, this side, corresponds to this side up here, right? A prime, B prime. So we say that side AB is congruent to side A prime, B prime. And similarly, we have side BC is congruent to side B prime, C prime. And then also, parallelograms have angles. So if I'm looking at, let's see, angle D down here on the bottom left of our image, pre-image, that's going to match up, or it's going to correspond with angle D prime. So we say that angle D is congruent to angle D prime. Okay, and there you have it. That's it for this lesson, 9.1. Thank you so much for watching. If you happen to be watching this video and made it to the end, go ahead and come see me for some PBIS points. I will give it to the first 5 people that come up and ask for it for watching this video. Okay, thank you so much for watching. You have a great day.